Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm refilming this after filming this yesterday and taking a look at the video. The video quality was just absolutely awful, so I'm redoing this now. So I'm going to go over my 2022 goals / vision board. Apparently I was supposed to make an actual vision board out of poster board and then glue stuff on or something. I don't know. I might just do it in Photoshop. Who cares? I'm not really into vision boards, but I guess I'll try it. So my first big goal of the year is to complete a winter pentathlon. Just learned how to pronounce that just a few minutes ago. I've been wanting to do this for a couple years, but with the pandemic and everything, the borders to Canada have been closed off. So they just reopened a few months ago. Hopefully they will not close back down with the new Omicron, whatever variant that just happened. Or it's just exploded. So basically this is a winter triathlon, except for instead of 3 events, because three, you're gonna have 5 events, so penta, like pentagon, 5 corners, pentagraph. So those 5 categories are running on the snow, which should be interesting, biking on the snow, which I haven't done since I was a kid, also should be interesting, ice skating, which I just bought a pair of ice skates if you've been watching my Vlogmas. I've been trying those out at the local skate rink and then also up in New York when we went up for Christmas. And they're really fun ice skates, K2 brand, everything, really good. And then cross-country skiing. Quick clarification, so it actually snowed here in the DC area for the first time in about a year, and it snowed about 10 inches, so I was able to cram in a bunch of winter sports yesterday, and I just kind of saw it as a training session opportunity for the winter pentathlon. I ski behind my husband's Jeep, I went snowshoeing with him, and then I did cross-country skiing on my own, so got all of that training done in less than 12 hours. Which I haven't been cross-country skiing since I went last winter. We got a little bit of snow, and so I just went down the street on the sidewalk. Nothing crazy. Other than that, I haven't been cross-country skiing since I was a little kid. So I bought roller skis to make up for the fact that we don't have snow. So people who are training for winter triathlons, pentathlons, etc., or for just cross-country skiing, if they don't have snow, they use roller skis, and they're basically a long blade that is like a roller blade. So I just ordered a used pair from a cross-country ski shop in Maine, and the lady who sold it to me said they used to belong to her dad and send pictures. So I'm gonna try to remember to do that. Then the last event is snowshoeing. Haven't been snowshoeing. I kind of snowshoed around my yard when it snowed last winter, but before that I hadn't been snowshoeing since November 2020 when I went to Washington. My husband and I went snowshoeing with my dad and brother up on Stevens Pass. They went ski touring, which is like cross-country skiing but uphill. I'm prepping for that, and that is going to happen in February timeframe. Hopefully the borders will not close down for that because I'm training somewhat hard for that, I guess moderately. I had this whole list on my phone and I just had to type it up on a notepad here on the computer. And then my second goal is to complete both a sprint and Olympic triathlon. So that's basically a half triathlon and then a full triathlon. I did a sprint triathlon 2 years ago down in Virginia, down at Lake Anna, Virginia, and I trained pretty hard for that. And I'm now trying to do the full Olympic triathlon, but I want to do the half triathlon as practiced before. I just signed up for a triathlon tune-up. It's basically a 1.5 mile run, 4 laps in the pool, and then a 5-mile bike ride, which is nothing. So it's just a practice run. And I signed up for swim lessons because I can't quite do the freestyle swimming, which is like the I can't do that very well. Like the lower half of my body just sinks. So when I did the sprint triathlon, I just swim on my back like this, and that was okay. I was able to breathe, but I was like at the very end of the pack. I got second to last place, which I'm not competing, but I was like, I gotta figure out how to do this properly because I couldn't see where I was going. And so I have a swim lesson this month and hopefully I can go from there. I just don't feel like I can learn it off YouTube, so signed up for a lesson. Third goal of the year is to ski more. I bought a season's pass this past year, and pretty much if I go twice, it pays for itself, so it's a really good deal. And I just need to get out more during the winter and go do stuff, which I do somewhat, but I mostly surf in the winter, not that often. So my ski pass is good at a bunch of different resorts, actually around the country, but within the local area. So I want to hit up all those different resorts. They're not really resorts, they're ski places. And I want to try out all those different places and just test everything out. I actually want to do one weekend of surfing and then skiing. More on that later. I want to ski on my mini skis at some point. These are a pair of skis that my dad gave me. He shipped them to me a few years ago. He actually wore them skiing down Mount Rainier, so he carried them to the top. They're just little, they're about 3 feet long or so. Carried them to the top of Mount Rainier because he summited Mount Rainier several times, and then he skied down on them. He said they're really unstable though once you start going fast, but I just want to try them out on the mountains around here because the mountains around here, mountains, are like hills to me, or like mosquito bites. I'm from the West Coast. These are not real mountains out here. I'm sorry. I also want to paddleboard down the Potomac River, like down through DC. I did that over the summer with my husband. He went kayaking, but I want to go further down. I don't know. I just have these, I'm envisioning like chunks of ice, like little mini icebergs, which we don't even have here, but I'm just imagining like George Washington on the Delaware, crossing the Delaware, right, during the Revolutionary War. I'm pretty sure it's the Delaware. You know, I think it was Christmas Day. You know, there's like, I think there's ice floating in the river. Anyway, I want to try that with my paddleboard. Just wear I have a thick 5mm winter wetsuit that I use for surfing. I've had for about 7 years now, and I want to try that going down the river. I'm gonna wear my paddling life jacket. I don't normally wear a life jacket when I go paddleboarding because I can swim, and the water here isn't crazy. But I think I will for if I'm going down the river because I'll probably get pulled over. I do want to take a surf lesson. I wanted to take one last summer, and there wasn't really anything last summer that I found. And I want to do this because my surfing skills are just not progressing. I've been surfing on and off since 2013 when I was living in Hawaii, and then I left about a year later. The ocean is far away from where I live. It's several hours away from where I live, so I only go a few times a year. I want to go once a month, but the drive is just, it's like 3.5 hours, so it's quite a bit. But I really need to refine some of the skills I learned because I basically learned from YouTube. I did take a surf lesson in 2006 when I was visiting Oahu, and then when I moved back in 2011, actually I did surf in 2011 or 2012 at White Plains on Oahu. But by then I'd forgotten everything I learned in 2006, obviously. It was an awful experience because White Plains is just a crazy place to surf. It's really rough, current strong, etc. It pretty much makes you never want to surf again. And then I didn't start until 2013, and I was learning from YouTube and like watching Alana Blanchard videos and stuff like that. And so I just really feel like I need to fine tune with that. And so there's a wave pool up in New Jersey. I found on Ben Gravy's channel that he surfed at. He's a famous East Coast surfer. He's from New Jersey. And it's about $125 for a 2-hour session if you're a beginner to go and do a session and plus get an instructor and everything. And you can rent boards from them, so that way I don't have to like carry my longboard way up there. But I think I'm gonna have to take like a more intermediate surfing class because it's for the beginner classes for people who can't even stand up, and I can stand up, I can pop up and stuff. But I really need to learn how to turn and learn how to catch unbroken waves, stuff like that. So I think I might have to take the intermediate class, which is like $200, but that's fine. But I think I want to take a weekend this winter, go to the wave pool on a Saturday or something, do that, surf, get the lesson, and then the next day head over to Jack Frost Big Boulder, which is a ski resort in northern Pennsylvania, and go skiing the next day. So I'll have a surf and ski weekend. I think that'd be pretty cool. With all of that, of course, continuing to maintain my fitness and just increasing in my fitness and really improving and tightening my core, my abs, my legs especially. Those are things that really need to be worked on. I've gotten more fit over the past year. I've been taking a workout class several days a week, off and on, with my coworker, and that's really helped. And of course I've started training for the triathlon and the winter pentathlon, so that has definitely helped. Another big goal for this year is to get monetized on YouTube. For a while, my YouTube channel really picked up steam and was like trucking along, getting half a dozen subscribers a day, all these public watch hours and everything. And then I deleted a couple videos and did Vlogmas, and that really ruined the algorithm. So I'm currently stuck at 333 subscribers, and it's just kind of paralyzed. But I think once I get back into the old schedule of posting on Tuesdays and Thursdays, which is what I do right now, I think the algorithm should repair itself within a few weeks, hopefully. But yeah, I really want to get 1,000 subscribers and get monetized. I think that would be pretty cool. Right now it's just a hobby to me. It's a fun hobby. I like recording all my different adventures and trips, and it's really fun to look back on. I just did my 2021 recap, and I was looking at all these videos. I forgot that we did some of this stuff for the past year, so it's really good to look back on trips and just have that recorded. With that being said, I really want to create better quality videos because mine currently suck. They've been getting better over the past few weeks, and they've definitely improved in the past year. I've had my YouTube channel for 2 years, and it's definitely better than what it used to do. I'm now using Adobe Pro instead of Microsoft Video Editor, and I've learned some things with the help of some YouTube videos like Adobe in a Minute and stuff like that with editing, because learning all the editing and everything was just a very steep learning curve, especially with the pandemic. Like, no one could really help me other than virtually. I do kind of want to study filmmaking because I just consider filmmaking just really beautiful, especially some of the clips people have. I'm just like, oh, this is just really gorgeous. I kind of want to take a class at community college. Not sure how that's going to go with the pandemic and everything. Everything's been shutting back down. So we'll see if I get to take a filmmaking class, because that would be really cool. I really want to up my thumbnail game and improve the quality of my thumbnails, because this is something I've really been neglecting with my channel. My thumbnails suck, and I just always forget to take a picture, and it's just like a last minute. I'm like, when I'm uploading a video, I'm like, oh crap, I need to make a thumbnail. And so it's just kind of rushed and just looks crappy. I have figured out Photoshop now how to crop a picture and paste it onto another picture, because oh my gosh, that was such a headache. I really need to learn how to do better with blurring people's faces, because I'm really struggling with that, with getting the blur to stay on the face when they're moving in a frame. So if I do end up monetizing my YouTube channel, I do want to apply for the Amazon sponsorship, and just, it's like your own little Amazon store where you can be like, oh, this is what I use for my camera, this is what I use for my ring light, this is what this is the type of equipment I use for my dogs, or whatever. And you can list anything that's on Amazon basically, and you get a small affiliate bonus or something. You get a small share of like what the person buys and stuff. And I also want to try that with Airbnb, because I know some people do that. Like if they go stay in Airbnb, they could get a sponsorship code and then use that, and an affiliate code or whatever, and then you can use that and make a small cut from that. We do use Airbnb quite a bit, and maybe some other affiliate programs if I can. I don't know. I don't really need, I mean, all this stuff is pretty stupid. I have a regular job. I don't really need the income, but I think it would be kind of fun to make some extra money on the side, as long as it's legal and ethical. I really need to be more active on the Instagram account that I have set up for this channel. I have not been very active on it at all, nor have I been taking pictures. I need to take more purposeful pictures, I guess. And all this is pretty stupid, but it's creative and it's fun, and that's how I treat it. It's not a real job for me, obviously, because I have my own job. And I also need to create an Instagram and Twitter for my dogs. Apparently there are a lot of dogs that have Twitter, because I've been following them on Twitter. And my dog's channel, I'll list it right here, or right here. It's the Regal, Beagle, and Pumpkin Spice Hound dog, or Pumpkin Spice Hound, I think. But it's just a stupid little channel they have with just clips of themselves. They've actually been gaining more subscribers than me, so that's pretty good. I also want to finish blogging. I'm going to have a limited blog just about my experiences growing up in a fundamentalist church, especially with the Josh Duggar trial and everything that just went on this past month. It's just really important to talk about this stuff, and I love reading other people's blogs that grew up in fundamentalist churches and were homeschooled, because I knew a lot of girls who were homeschooled. I was not. But just that whole world that we grew up in, basically. I just find it fascinating. I also want to start a podcast. I did start the blog. I'll link it down below. I've only done one blog post so far. I tried to set up AdSense on that so you can get a little bit of money from it, but it hasn't worked so far. I did the coding wrong, I think. I'm planning on starting a podcast, just basically about the same stuff, growing up in a fundamentalist church, and just sharing some of my experiences there. We had a Josh Duggar-like situation at my church with the youth pastor. He actually was convicted. I'm planning on making a YouTube video about that on my channel. So I'll do a few episodes about that on my channel this year. I'm hoping to travel more this year for work, but it's all dependent on the pandemic, and everything's flaring back up right now with the new variant. So it's not really up to me. This has been going on for 2 years now. The only thing I can do right now is increase my knowledge of my portfolio and everything, but yeah, there's just really not much I can do because it's out of my hands, and it's out of all of our hands basically. And then last but not least, I'm going to complete my landscaping for the year. Probably not, because you know, you're always doing yard projects, but I need to plant some 2 magnolia trees on the side of our yard this coming spring, and I think I'm just gonna pay the nursery to do it because I think they're like huge, and it's too much for me. You know, I'd probably screw it up and the tree would be planted this way. Have done that with a couple plants. I'm also reserving a Japanese banana tree. They were so hard to find in the large quantity. I want to get like a 5 gallon, I think it's 5 gallon. Yeah, they're like $50, but definitely worth it. I did buy 2 little Japanese banana trees that were 6 inches or whatever off Amazon. One survived and is in our backyard, and my husband's dog peed on it a lot this summer and it survived. I had the other one in the front yard and it died. So I guess the dog's pee helped it. But this year I definitely want to get a already large version of the Japanese banana tree, just to, you know, ensure its survival. And yeah, I have to make a reservation for that actually with the nursery. Just, it's so hard to find. Oh yeah, and for self-care, I need to whiten my teeth because I drink tons of coffee every day, and I've noticed my teeth are just, yeah, they need a little bit of work. And I also want to start on laser hair removal this year because I'm tired of shaving my legs. So that's everything. We'll review this in a year and see what I got done and what I didn't get done. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, hit the thumbs up. If you didn't, and then if you'd like to subscribe for more content, feel free to click right here or here. I don't know. Thanks for watching.